welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming a video about some of the recent palettes I've picked up. Now these aren't reviews or anything, I'm just doing a quick haul so you know what's coming up on my channel. I have a lot of new products, so I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek. Okay, so the first palette I had to pick up was of course the Champagne Pop Face Palette by Jaclyn Hill. This came out a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and when I first heard about this palette coming out and she gave you a sneak peek on Snapchat, I knew I had to have it, so I'm really glad I was able to get my hands on this one. This is limited edition and I believe it is sold out, but I'm still planning on doing a review. I've been putting it to the test and so far I do really like this palette and the packaging is so beautiful. On the inside you get 2 highlighters and 3 blush shades. Now this is her new highlight. This is called Prosecco Pop. And this is the original Champagne Pop. Down here are 3 blush shades. This is Rosé Spritz. This is called Amarillo, I believe. And then this one is Pamplemousse. So far, I'm really enjoying this palette. The next one I picked up is this little guy. This is the Natasha Denona. This is the number 4 palette. And I picked this up on Beautylish. Now, if you watch YouTube at all, you heard all the hype about Natasha Denona eyeshadows. So, of course, I had to pick one of the palettes up. I really love her big eyeshadow palettes, the like $238 eyeshadow palette, but not quite in my budget. So I decided to go for a smaller one. And this includes 5 shades. I really like these colors. I have been playing with this palette, and again, I will review this in a separate video, but I just wanted to show you guys that I did have this palette. Okay, next palette I picked up is, of course, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. Now, I didn't even know this was coming out until like right before, of course, when all the PR packages went out, and I had to pick this up because I love Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palettes. I've had such good luck with them. This is actually the 5th palette from them that I have in my collection, and this is gorgeous. It looks a little bit more fall-esque, but I think these shades are so versatile that you can still rock them in the summertime. So if you are looking for a nice neutral shadow palette that is kind of a good dupe for the 35O, this might be right up your alley, and I believe this is permanent, so you will always find this in stock. Next palette I picked up is the beautiful Beauty Killer palette by Jeffery Star Cosmetics. I was so excited to get my hands on this. There was a lot of hype around this palette, and Jeffery Star is like one of my idols. You guys know if you watch my channel, I love his makeup. So I was so excited to be able to purchase this, and this is what it looks like on the inside. I'm sure you've seen this all over YouTube. I recently used this in a tutorial, so you'll be able to see that. If it's already out, I'll go ahead and link it down below. Otherwise, if it comes out in the future, please go ahead and subscribe so you can check that tutorial out. But I love how huge the pans are, and I love the variety of colors. This isn't really a one-season palette. I think there's a lot of fall colors here. I think there's a lot of spring colors here. So this is a really nice, versatile palette to have in your collection. Okay, this next guy I just kind of picked up on a whim. This was a platinum perk a few weeks before it actually launched, so I decided to pick it up so I could review it for you. Now, I used to be a huge Lorac eyeshadow fan, and so I had to pick up just one more pro palette. It is nice to have the whole collection. This is what it looks like, and this is basically the most neutral eyeshadow palette you could ever own. I have a lot more thoughts on this palette, but I will do a dedicated review on this, so keep on watching for that sometime. It's so exciting to be able to talk about different brands and YouTube collaborations because there's so many YouTubers that are coming out with their own palettes, collabing with really big brands. This is another one. This is a collab. This is the Carli Byble for BH Cosmetics palette. Now this has been out for a really long time. I didn't pick it up because I wasn't really into it, but it recently came on stock on Ulta.com, and I figured for the price, it was like 12 bucks, I would check it out. I've heard some mixed reviews on this palette, so I'm excited to put it to the test and let you guys know my thoughts. This comes with 4 highlighters and then some eyeshadows as well. So it is a really cheap packaging, but I hear what's on the inside is definitely worth checking out. This is another YouTube collaboration with a really huge brand. This is the Graveyard Girl palette called Swamp Queen which is a collab with Tarte Cosmetics. Now, if you watch Bunny, she is a wild character on YouTube. She's definitely different, just kind of goes against the status quo, which I think really attracts people to her personality. This palette is like the Tarte in Bloom palette. Just by opening it, I get that big scent of like chocolate vanilla, which you can find in the In Bloom palette. So I'm really excited to have this. Right away when I saw this palette, the shade Dogman was just calling my name. And it's really nice that it has a bronzer, a blush, and a highlight, which makes it a really great palette on the go. I haven't even swatched this yet, so I just want to show it to you guys. Definitely will be reviewing and playing with this soon. The next two palettes I have are from the same brand. These are by Juvia's Place. Now, I heard about this brand when I was watching Coffee Break with Danny. I think in her May Favorites video, she talked about this second palette. Of course, this was out of stock when I went on the website the first time around. So I, on a whim, decided to try the first palette because I did watch some reviews on it and I thought it was a good buy. So this is what the first palette looks like. Again, this reminds me a lot of the Morphe 35O palette. So if you can't get the 35O, maybe go ahead and pick this one up. It's about the same price. Of course, the Morphe one has way more shadows in it, but this might be fun if you like to travel and stuff. This will be easier to travel with, but these colors are really beautiful. I've only played with this palette a few times, so I don't have a full review for you guys yet, but I'm really glad I got this. Now the second one, this is called the Nubian 2 by Juvia's, and the palette, the eyeshadows are a lot bigger in this one, and they have names. As you can tell in the first one, it didn't really have any names on the eyeshadows, so this one is definitely bigger and better. I'm so pumped because they also threw in some fun shadows. This blue Cleopatra looks beautiful. There's also this green shade, which is Egypt. So this will be a fun one. I think I'm going to get some really awesome looks out of this baby. So yeah, keep watching my channel because I got a lot of new stuff to talk about. Usually I'm into really boring, like rusty shades and stuff, very neutral looks when it comes to my eyes, but I've been really inspired this season for like bold eyeshadow looks. So I did pick up the Urban Decay Electric palette. Now this is not a new palette by any means, but it's new to me. So I just wanted to show it to you. I was really kind of anxious when I picked this up because I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on this palette. A lot of people say it stains your eyelids and stuff, and like I think when you look at this, it is very intimidating because it's so bright, and I didn't think I would have enough use for it to justify purchasing it. But I'm really enjoying this palette, and I think that if you love bright eyeshadows, this is a must-have for you. The colors are so pigmented, and I think you get a really nice variety. Even if you don't love color, even if you're just kind of a really neutral person, these are really fun eyeshadows to add like a nice pop of color. So if you haven't checked out the Urban Decay Electric palette, don't sleep on it like I did. Definitely pick this up and play with it. So this last palette, of course, you can't buy in store, but I will do a full review on this as well. This is a MAC palette that I created myself, featuring a bunch of bright colors. I was so excited because MAC has been kind of putting their stuff on sale, which is really great, and they just dropped the price of these eyeshadows too. So they originally used to be $10, which is kind of ridiculous, to $6, which is the price of a Makeup Geek eyeshadow. And since I'd never owned a MAC shadow, I kind of decided to try it out. So these are some of the shades I picked up. I was really craving like color, as you can tell, so I got some fun shadows and then I added a few more. So I will have my full thoughts on this guy up on my channel soon too. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that quick palette haul. Like I said, I have a ton of new palettes, so I just wanted to show you guys what I had. If you have any special requests on what you might like to see a review or tutorial of first, leave me a comment below because I would love to get some input. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye!